Hey, February was absolutely fucking massive for fighting games, and I was meant to make this video like a week ago, but then I got really busy with work and I had mayhem and a bunch of shit happened. So this video is like a week late, and during that week, every fighting game dev decided to make just a bunch of announcements and some stuff got leaked. And February was a pretty crazy month, so I finally have the time now to actually talk about it with the trailer. By now, you have absolutely watched everybody react to these trailers. Dude, like the redesigns of every character, and not just for Street Fighter, every character I've seen so far from the trailers that have come out have been fantastic. I think there's been one trailer that I've been disappointed by, and we'll fucking get to it. Right. But yeah, Geef looks fucking, he looks OD. Now, I could give less of a fuck about Lily. Flat out, I gain no emotional anything from looking at her. I feel apathy. She feels like a Street Fighter 4 character, bro, and not in the way that I like. Apparently she's like this sort of speedy, like charge grappler hybrid. So I like T-Hawk, right? Obviously, seems like one of those characters that you get some cheeky tech master to play, and they just own you with shit you just never seen before. Now, I don't think anyone's gonna be surprised when I say that that this character, this is the one I care about. This is the one I give a shit about. Because if you know me, I can't fucking control myself. They went way too hard on her in this game, bro. Everyone said it, right? Like, Jesus Christ. With that said, though, I'm actually really curious how she plays now. She's got a bunch of cool new attacks. Cammy by far is definitely the character I'm most excited about, which shouldn't really be a surprise if you know me. I like my rush downs. Also, Jesus Christ, bro. What were they on, bro? What drugs are they? What were they taking? What drugs are these? What's going on? Ignoring that, she looks really cool, though. I really like her, right? Zangief hates Hadokens. And him and Sol would get along well. That's funny. What the heck is Cossack dancing, actually?
Exciting, powerful dance of the Cossacks.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Is Geef even small enough to do this? This is, wow. I guess I'm watching it. Look how happy they are. Okay, that's enough. I will say Geef looks sickish in this game. Look at them pepperoni nipples, bro. God damn. I like how Cammy's new hate is everything. She hates everything now. She's grumpy. She's like me, dude. Hashtag relatable, bro. Anytime she at work, she's like, man, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. Fuck that, bro. I ain't fucking with nothing. I just want to go home, sit with my cats. That's it. Let's get to it real quick. Yeah. So, oh god, I'm using Polygon, bro. Yeah. So apparently, I say apparently, it's confirmed. Capcom Cup 10 will be on Street Fighter 6 with first place winning $1 million in cash prize, and I think people like Sajam will get into much better detail than I can about this sort of thing. They've been a lot more in the know about this sort of thing. They've been in the esports scenes much longer than I have, right? But I have no idea how Capcom is justifying shoving this much money into the competitive scene out of seemingly their own pocket. I don't know what the plan is, right? It's definitely, I mean, obviously this is a big fish for the headlines, and it definitely got the fucking headlines, right? But I'm just wondering, like, how the hell, like, what's the logic here? Well, why are we doing this? What's going on? Holy fuck, they retweet fan art. I did not realize. But like, I'm trying to, like, what? If you do watch other content creators, they're mainly discussing how they are a tad worried about this. Since what the FGC needs more than anything when it comes to prize pools is not bigger numbers, we need sustainability. The main reason scenes like Valorant and Dota and League have been so economically fresh and vibrant for so long is because they've built systems in place to allow competitive players to make a living off of being competitive, right? Not just via sponsorships and self-sustainment, but via integrated systems that allow them to you know, live their life, you know, join a team house, get into a team house, play, practice for like 10 hours a day and still get paid and have dinner, all right? And that's what the FGC's really lacked for ages now. I think the only region that really has it is Japan, right? And you can tell watching their streams and just the potency of their players that they are much more able to make a living off of playing competitively within fighting games, and most regions don't have that at all, right? And a lot of regions are pushing for it. So I don't know if this prize pool is them into trying to like initiate that, or if they're just like, fuck it, just chuck money at it. Where we got fresh pockets right now. Monster Hunter did so good. We can chuck money anywhere we want right now. Resident Evil 4 is gonna make up for this tenfold. So I don't really know what the plan is. I'm curious, right? But with that said, a new era is absolutely coming for fighting games. So I really hope a lot of competitive scenes make the push to try to bring that sort of economical stability into our competitive scenes, even in America and stuff, right? Because the fighting game scene deserves it, bro. We've been at this for so long. It's about time we try to like really allow people to make a living off of this if they want that to be how they want to live, right? Some people just build like that, you know. It may as well give them that opportunity. And at the very least, we know if you're competing in Capcom Cup, there's a genuine prize to be won. There's genuinely a boon to be had from all that practice and all that time they're going to invest. Now, much like Street Fighter, I should establish I'm only very recently getting into Tekken, but I have watched a fair amount of it. Nina's definitely the one I know the least amount about. It's very interesting that she was like the first character they showed off outside of trailers, right? The first character to get her own trailer. But I do recognize a few new things, but like everyone else, I was pretty apprehensive about the trailer, right? I think the gun stuff looks so fucking stupid. I don't mind a redesign. I think a redesign looks pretty nice. All right. I hate the sunglasses, but the rest of it's cool. But I hate the guns. I think the guns look so fucking corny, bro. I do really like her new flip kicks and stuff, though. All the new moves they've added look really nice. Right, I think this one here, yeah, that. I think that shit looks really cool. And then they do that shit. Oh, I hate it. I think the guns look so dumb. I like the new gimmick that every character has like a power or weapon that they utilize in battle, right? And that's like their main like gimmick, you know, or their main establishing offensive factor or whatever, you know. But just guns. Guns, I think, is like the worst choice you could have picked for Nina. Right, you could have picked so many cool weapons. You could have picked a stun stick, could have picked fucking poison. She's an assassin. There's like a million things. Could have picked a knife if you really wanted to be plain about it. I don't care. But dual wielding guns, DMC style, I just think it looks so silly, bro. I hate it. Everything else looks great except that, right? It gets worse too. Just wait for it. I check it. Yeah, this fucking shit. Oh my god. Oh, it's so tacky. Oh, it's so bad. Wait for this. Wait. The pose. She stays still in the air for like, for like 60 whole frames. Oh man. I like her redesign. I like most of her new moves. Not the biggest fan though. But then everyone saw this trailer. Right, and this is the trailer that finally put Tekken 8 on the map in people's minds. Tekken 8 was like, I don't know, and then they showed off the first protagonist. All right, the first lead of the franchise, and they showed him off in fucking style, bro. He looks so cool, man. All right, Christ, we saw the render. We were like, he looks hype, and then we see him here, and it's like, holy fuck, what did they do to Kazuya? He looks so lit. Right, look at him, bro. This trailer made me try 7 for a good amount of time. I'm sure it did for a lot of people. It was like, okay, I gotta try 7. I gotta prepare for 8 because I'm playing 8. Look at this shit, bro. People like Main Man Sui and shit would have much better dissections of these trailers than I ever would. Right, all I can tell you is that they look cool. I love the new outro pose. I love the new attacks. I also really like how they've implemented the heat stuff for Kazuya. I think for him and Jin, we'll get to Jin as well, but they look so much better than what Nina's doing. Nina's looking so tacky compared to these two, bro. These two look so cool. Probably because oh my god, this new animation too. Jesus, man. I think it also has something to do with the fact that they've always had demon powers. It's always been integrated into their lore and their moveset, so it's a little more justifiable when they're doing shit like this. Alright? Pathetic. Yeah, nah, Kazuya looks so... Him fully embracing the villain role within the story, it's such a W. Such a W. He seems so sick. Oh my god, Jin looks so cool. I've been playing Jin, by the way. That's the character I decided to pick up for 7. So I know a tad more about him, a little bit. He looks fucking crazy, right? Though I will say within the story, Jin's like, I'll just say this now, them trying to pivot Jin back into Tekken 3 hero status is the dumbest fucking shit, man. Remember in 6 where he caused a fucking world war? And half the new characters' motivations from that game are like, hey, fuck you, Jin, you caused a world war, you killed my family members. Unironically, hell, in 7 too, the fucking lame-ass reporter, his whole motive is Jin literally killed my family, bro. And we're gonna just pivot back? Is it like, come on, dog? Like, come on. Oh, like, Tekken's story is so ruined, man. I'll buy into it, I don't care, it's better than villain Jin for sure, but God, it's silly. If you have to retcon 7 in your mind to make it work, you really do. 7 and 6, you gotta like make your own storyline about it, or maybe they'll retcon it in the story themselves. I don't know. But yeah, that's a new attack. They've added this. Like, he's got so many new flash animations. He's got a new power crush that leads to that fucking punch through shit. His Zen stance now has a glowing eye. This shit blew my mind, by the way. If you've seen this, his I believe it's 2-4, right? This is like a godlike punish in 7. But then you see it here and it's like, oh, it doesn't knock him over, you know, it doesn't do the knockdown for the Oki. And then you see you could fucking Zen stance cancel it into a dive kick. It's like, what? So yeah, Jin's pretty nuts in this game. He's got the new flip kick shit too. That was off like a 1-2, right? He's got this flip punch that he does, the claw flip, right? That's his 1-2, right? God damn, what is that? I will say, one thing I've noticed about this game, and the salty part, like the resentful part of me can't help but be salty about this. This game is Tekken Soul Calibur 6, 100%. They were like, what if we just went full anime? What if we just went fuck it? Let's just embrace the meters that no one likes and just make them good, you know? That's what Tekken 8 feels to me, right? That's what it feels like. It feels like they're a version of Soul Calibur 6, all right? Except Tekken was just the one that survived, you know. Soul Calibur's not getting a sequel. We know for a fact it's not getting a sequel. But Tekken's getting its sequel, and it's more like Soul Calibur. And it's like, bro, you're gonna do this to me? You're gonna hurt me like this, dog? You're gonna take away my 3D fighter? But then you're gonna make me play the other one and be like, nah, it's the same though, isn't it? It's the same. Oh, I'm cut, bro. This is sick though. Those Omen stance into God Fist. I love, dude, it looks so cool. And that hot dog stand has been memed on Twitter so much already. Him beating on the hot dog stand. I recommend you go watch him if you want better dissections of these trailers, because unless it's fucking Strive or some shit, I don't really know what's going on. Well, I can tell you that it's exciting and it happened. Oh shit, hang on, someone else moved this video. Hang on, wait. This is your shout out. Hi, Buff Gigas. Alright, hi, Buff Gigas, please. There's your shout out, bro. Yeah, so we got Heat Burst, which I believe, yeah, it's a big fuck off plus on block attack, right? And as we know, it causes a bounce, right? We've seen it in like every character trailer so far. Heat Burst attack can be canceled as well. I didn't know about that. I will say, I really like how they're taking like staple moves and giving them a much bigger purpose within the heat system, right? And connecting them to the new heat bar. I think that's a really good idea. Right? One of the most confusing things about playing 7 for me, from what I've played of it, I've played it 2 years ago and I'm playing it more now, is that it's the thing everyone complains about with Tekken, right? There's so many fucking moves that you have to cut the fat on the move list all the time and be like, okay, what do I focus on that's like really strong so I don't overwhelm myself, right? What I really like about the heat system is that it will take certain moves like Jin's 1-2, you know, the triple punch. That move, that's hard to implement, especially early on within his kit, because it's like, it's high damage and it's quick, but like, it's not a launch or anything. It doesn't lead to a good combo. It's not like incredible frame advantage or anything. So you sit there and you're like, how do I use this move? Well, in 8, it's like, well, it's your heat engager attack. Why would go use the move, right? It allows you to enter heat and go full offense on the opponent, all right? And I think that's a really good concept for Tekken. I really hope the heat system is mainly about making characters easier to comprehend overall, right? I don't want Tekken to lose its depth, but I would like it if I wanted to hop around the roster, if I pick a character, I'm not going to be immediately fucking confused, right? Like immediately, like how, what the fuck is this character doing? You pick Zafina, you do a standing kick and she enters the stance and you're like, what's going on? Right? What? You know? She can still do that, but if there's other stuff I can access that allows me to better play the character just casually, right? Casually pick the character and then do some funny things, right? I think that'd be, overall, that would make the game a lot more approachable, right? And I don't think Tekken fans should be afraid of the game being more approachable. I know they get really like finicky about it, and I understand. It's a legacy game, and it's also a game with, as I said earlier, immense amounts of depth. Even if you play a lot of fighting games, it's hard to get into Tekken as a fighting game player because it's so unique and there's so much to it, and it's so knowledge checky as a game, right? Because there's so much to learn and so many elements to every character and frame data and what's good and what isn't and what you can get gimmicked by and what won't gimmick you, right? Even the throw game is complex in so many ways. You gotta literally watch which arms they use and how they use them in order to properly see what throw it is and tech it, and you gotta do that mid-match within a system where you gotta watch like there's all these like safe mid counter hit launchers and shit you gotta worry about. There's so much to Tekken, and it's why it's beautiful. It's why Tekken is brilliant as a fighting game. But it means that a poor old sap like me that ain't very good at it, right? You really struggle to get to that point where Tekken becomes incredible. For so many people, Tekken is mashy and frustrating and gimmicky and incredibly difficult to approach. Will this heat system make it easier to approach? I'd like to think so, at least from an offensive perspective. Defensively, it's only going to get harder. They've said that they want to focus on aggression. So perhaps the game will be even more mashy, right? At least at low levels. But at least now players have a system that they can interact with that clearly establishes this is good. All these attacks are good and they give you something really beneficial to you and you winning the match, right? So use them, and immediately a player can approach that and pick that up and be like, okay, I understand, I get it, right? I understand how that works, you know? It probably won't be perfect, but I think it is at least a good idea, and especially in the realm of we want to change Tekken for the future, we want to implement a new system. I think this is mostly the right call. I think they could have done something more that was more tied to the identity of Tekken, but I think for what they've chosen, it's okay. I also really like how it interacts with the rage system, right? It means that they've shifted rage drive to heat drive, so it's on the heat system now, which I think is a much better idea, right, than connecting it to rage. I think having rage drive be tied purely to 30% health. Rage art is already kind of irritating to deal with. You almost never see it high level, so I think creating a separate gauge will allow rage art to blossom a lot more as a mechanic and see a lot more play. At least I hope so. So I think overall, as far as the game's resources are concerned, it's a net plus, right? It's a benefit. Also, real quick, this shit, I didn't think about it. This heat shit is so much like Soul Charge, it's not even funny. You can stack up to 2 of them, and they give you like an EX mode, right? With like unique mechanics. That shit's gonna be, that's probably what's gonna be the knowledge check stuff, is like, okay, what changes when they're in heat state, dude? What do I have to worry about now that they're all heated up? I do love how they have a Bloodborne system though, where you gotta attack back to get your health back. I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, look at that. I think that's such a cool idea, actually. I love that. I will say I really like the game's UI. I think the game's UI looks really cool, by the way. Very flashy. I really like the health bars. Right? Good video, man. Nah, actually, fucking drop a like on this guy's vid. That was a great vid. Now that we've gone over Tekken, let's go over the shit that I care about, and they gave me nothing for, which is they announced the sheep waifu. They announced Anila, which I could give less of a fuck about, by the way. I think they picked the popular Zodiac character. Personally, I would have I forget her name, but personally I would have preferred the bull one. She would have been cooler. I believe Anila was the first one they released in the gacha. Jesus fucking Christ. I thought Cammy was bad. I believe she was the first one they released in the gacha. And then they just kept releasing some from there. And she's always been the most popular for pivotal reasons. She's also apparently very meta, which helped her popularity a lot. I was mainly hoping for the bull one, actually. She's a newer one, but I always really liked her. I figured they would make like a really cool, like, the game doesn't really have like a female bruiser. For the most part, the closest you get is like Yule and maybe Vera if you really want to stretch it, but like there's no real super female brawly characters, and I think she could have been a one, but looks like we're gonna get another spear wielder. We've got a few of those now, but she's not a bad pick. But overall, we haven't really gotten any other info other than, hey, she's in the game now. Ain't that cool? Now we know who the stage is tied to. We all knew it was a Zodiac character, we just didn't know which one. But with that said, they did show off some new mechanics. So if I go to the website real quick, a lot of the new animations are mainly these, right? But I did not think they were gonna add these. So this is a cool new addition. I actually really like this addition, since I imagine running is still gonna be a heavy commitment in Rising. For those who don't know, in Versus, when you running does have recovery, and there's no sort of FD break or anything to save your recovery. When you run, it's a commitment. You commit to running, right? So I think this is a good addition overall to give committing to a run more incentive outside of speed, right? You now get access to these new moves. I also imagine this will lead to like counter hit links and stuff, where you can link like a heavy counter hit into a dash attack, which leads to like a greater combo, right? I imagine they are going to work on lots of extra combo variety for the new game, since that was a big complaint of the OG, was that the combo variety was a bit lackluster. But I called this one, bros. I called this one for sure. In the old footage, we saw characters doing high lows off their string, and this is exactly what I thought it was. The third attack can now be turned into a high or a low. Also, this low from Percival, by the way, looks crazy fast. So I imagine the way it's going to work is that the low triple attack is really fast and pretty unreactable, but you can't follow it up. Actually, hang on. If we see here, yeah, no, you cannot follow it up. You cannot. They do not show a special cancel for low attack of any kind. But the overhead is reactable, but may allow maybe not special cancels, but they might allow some sort of link or something, or on counter hit they grant a link, something along those lines. They don't really show much here. Obviously, they only have 2 examples. But yeah, triple attacks now have high-low mix, which is intriguing, right? It seems like an odd spot to put it as well, since triple attacks are they're the auto combo system, and they're mainly meant to help new players and also help for certain like juggle routes and stuff. I'm really curious if you can land combos or anything off of this stuff, right? Or if it's purely just a little bit of extra damage in like a knockdown or something, right? News is trickling out slowly, but I believe we're also gonna get a new trailer on March 5th, which as of this recording is in 3 days. But the last bit of news I wanted to cover. So, Mortal Kombat 12 did get quote unquote revealed. Also, we're getting these are new articles. We're seeing a bunch of articles about its release date. But basically it got leaked. We had no idea what it was going to be. A lot of people thought it was going to be a Marvel fighting game. A lot of people thought it was going to be like a Shaolin Monks type game. But it seems to just be MK12 or Injustice even. But no, it seems to just be a Mortal Kombat sequel, which is very interesting. I didn't expect that at all, right? And it was revealed in the fucking lamest way possible, which sucks because I was super curious what game they might be working on, and it was one of the things I was looking forward to getting announced to see what they were making, right? I do hope some form of trailer is soon if they wish to reveal more details on it. Probably the most interesting thing about MK12 is what kind of fighting game is it even going to be? If you know 11 wasn't the most positively received fighting game. A lot of people weren't a big fan of how MK11 shifted Mortal Kombat style, especially from X. I do think X gets a tad overrated at times, especially in conversations with 11. Right? I feel like people love to heap praise on X and forget just how broken that game is sometimes. Like, frustrating broken, not good broken, annoying broken. But with that said, I think when it comes to the two of them, I probably would pick X over 11 overall. But I do think 11, especially in its final version, became a fantastic fighting game at the end of the day. I think it has it's really I think it's really exciting to watch. I especially love how it experimented with some mechanics. I really love the crushing blow system. I think Soul Calibur did it, to bring up Soul Calibur again, Soul Calibur did it too with their lethal hit system, but I really love the idea of a system where you meet certain requirements to get critical hits on your attacks. I think that's such a cool idea, right? And I think Mortal Kombat 11 did it mostly perfectly, and they implemented it into the X-ray system. I think it was overall just a super smart design. I think it's also the NetherRealm game that handled supers the best. The fact that they had to resort to a rage art system to do it is a bit disappointing, but I think it's by far the best implementation of supers. They've always struggled to find a way to implement supers into their games for high level play, and I think they found a really good way to do it. That fits Mortal Kombat really well, and I think it was a really good system. I especially loved how they handled their DLC character design in MK11. Spawn especially. Spawn is so fucking cool in 11. Maximilian's so full of shit. Spawn is so cool in 11, dude. Especially when you get his custom variations. He's got so many cool attacks. His combos are so neat. Dude, I really like Spawn in 11. I think 11 is too hated. I think 11's really good, right? But I'm very curious what they're going to do with 12. I imagine they might be thinking of leaning back into MK's old craziness, which I don't have a problem with. I think if they find a middle ground between trying to balance out their systems like they did with 11, but keeping X's speed, I think they could, and its emphasis on high lows, it could be a really cool game. All right. One thing I want MK12 to be, in my heart, what I want it to be, I want it to be a 2v2 game. I think MK is such a good series for a 2v2 series, right? There's so many in the lore, there's so many like partnerships that have been formed over the years. I think it makes sense for the story. I think it would really spice up MK's gameplay in a fun way. And people have wanted a tag mode in MK for years, but I think in the modern climate, adding just a tag mode flat out is really hard. Games are so expensive nowadays. So I think just dedicating it full on as a 2v2 game would be really cool. I'd be really down to play that, especially since cross tags run its course. Infinite failed. Other than like Project L, there's no 2v2 games coming along, so I think it would be super cool. But we'll just have to wait and see, really. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 12 has been announced. It is in fact coming. It is a game. It exists. I forgot about this, and this is very important to me. So a new company got announced or revealed or established, Tokyo-based Studio Flare, headed by Toshimichi Mori from Team Blue. If you don't know who Toshimichi Mori is somehow, he is the lead director of BlazBlue. It's also got Marvelous's executive president, Toshinori Oki, right, who's also a pretty big name within Japanese game development. God, this site is full of ads. I should get an ad blocker, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's nuts. That's actually crazy. A few months ago, Mori announced that he was in fact leaving Arc System Works, which was a pretty huge announcement, especially for someone like me. I've been wanting a new BlazBlue game for years now, right? I've been waiting for the 3D BlazBlue game to get made. And then Mori left the company. Right, and I was like, well, I guess that's not gonna fucking happen, because he is absolutely the Daisuke equivalent to BlazBlue. He is the main head. All creative decisions of the franchise go through him for the most part. It's his baby, as is Guilty Gear's Daisuke's baby. So him not being there, that's not no BlazBlue game, bro. Though we do have that game Entropy Effect, which is coming out, but that did get made with his blessing, so technically still for him. So this announcement is massive. For at least for me, right? You got two big famous Japanese heads coming together to create their new studio in Tokyo. What games they're gonna make? It's currently hiring 2D artists. They want to make games with that edgy feel for hardcore gamers. So maybe they're making a fighting game. Who knows? I believe they also showed off like a logo. Okay, there you go. Yeah, they showed this off, I'm pretty sure. And this, in case you don't know what the fuck that is. Oh shit. Was that the emblem they used to put on their main character all the time? Well, that's pretty weird that that's there. What's that doing there? Am I saying, and also this bitch literally just looks like Rachel. It's literally just Rachel, right? So if that means they're gonna make a BlazBlue, probably not. But I think this is more just an homage to Mori's roots, since he is one of the heads of the company. But this is really exciting news. I'm very excited to see what they do. February was absolutely crazy. It was massive, right? And I meant to make this video ages ago, and I could not find the time, so I finally recorded it. So fantastic. I will be